One of my favorite shows growing up as a kid was a show called Super Friends. It was a Saturday morning cartoon, and the premise was that all the great superheroes, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Green Lantern, and others, would join together. They'd come to this place called the Hall of Justice, and they'd combine all their superpowers to work for good in the world to defeat the powers of evil. Now, I'm a big superhero fan, and so this show was just perfect for me. And I think what I learned at a very young age was the way that we can join our talents and our gifts together to work for good in the world. I was reminded of the Super Friends when I was reading 1 Corinthians 12 this week. In it, St. Paul talks about how there are varieties of gifts, but they all come from the same Spirit, from God's Spirit. He talked about how there are varieties of service, but they all come from one Lord. He said there's the gift of wisdom and knowledge and prophecy and miracle working and interpretation and all kinds of things. But as the diverse gifts that we have all come from this one God. That is the mystery and the miracle of this thing that we call the church, this beautiful and flawed body of Christ that we are together. And God, in God's wisdom, has given us each different gifts, different strengths, to use together, to join forces, to do good in the world, to share the gospel of God, the love of Jesus. But I also wonder whether God uses our weaknesses too, our flaws, our shortcomings, our failures. If I think about it, that's probably the deeper wisdom in a show like Super Friends, because as super as all these superheroes were, they all had limitations, and that's why they had to work together. So God uses both our strengths and our weaknesses for the sake of the gospel and for the sake of good. May you this week know God working in the things that you're confident in and comfortable with and strong in, but may you also find God's blessings and goodness in your struggles, in your failures, in your longing to grow and to do and to serve and to be. And I'll see you Sunday.